Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are going to tackle one of the most common and, let's be real, one of the most maddening problems you'll ever face in a spreadsheet. Those sneaky, invisible, unwanted spaces that just break everything.
You know what I'm talking about, right? You've imported some data, or maybe someone sent you a messy workbook, and suddenly your formulas don't work, your lookups fail. These little extra spaces can quietly sabotage your entire analysis. Well, don't worry, we're going to fix all of that today.
So, here's the game plan. First, we'll look at the problem itself. Then we're diving into 4 awesome solutions: trim, substitute, find and replace, and the powerhouse, Power Query. And we'll wrap it all up with a guide on how to pick the perfect tool for the job.
All right, first things first, let's get to know our opponent, the rogue space. You know what they say, to defeat the enemy, you've got to understand where it comes from.
These pesky spaces, they can sneak in from just about anywhere. Data imports are a huge culprit. Simple typos, copying and pasting from a website, you name it. And they show up in a few different ways. You've got leading spaces before your text, trailing spaces after it, and the really annoying ones, extra spaces right in the middle of your words.
Okay, let's get to our first solution, and it's a beauty. Meet the trim function. Seriously, think of this as your go-to, everyday tool for data cleanup. It's fast, it's easy, and it works like a charm.
The trim function does 3 things, and it does them perfectly. 1, it zaps all the spaces before your text. 2, it gets rid of all the spaces after your text. And 3, it takes any double, triple, whatever spaces between words and squishes them down to just 1. And the best part? The formula is dead simple. Just equals trim, and then you point it to the cell you want to fix. That's it. Now, this is super important. Trim is non-destructive. What does that mean? It means it doesn't actually change your original data. You just pick a new empty cell, type in the formula pointing to the messy one, hit enter, and poof, the nice, clean version appears, leaving your original data completely safe and sound. And here it is in action. Look at that before text. It's a mess, right? Spaces at the front, too many in the middle, some at the end. One simple trim formula, and boom, you get the perfect after version. So clean, so satisfying. Now, trim is fantastic for that general sweep up, but what if you need to be a little more surgical? That's when you bring in our next tool, the substitute function. This is for when you need precision. See, unlike trim, which is kind of an all or nothing deal, substitute lets you call the shots. You tell it 3 simple things: where to look, what old text to find, say a double space, and what new text to replace it with, maybe a single space or maybe nothing at all. You are in complete control. And you can see just how flexible this is. In that first example, we're hunting down every double space and swapping it for a single one. But in the second one, we're telling it to find every single space and replace it with, well, nothing. Just smushes all the words together. The power is all yours. So check this out. The formula was smart enough to only target those double spaces. It cleaned them up perfectly, but left the normal single spaces between the words completely alone. That's what I mean by precision cleaning. Okay, so you might be thinking, trim and substitute are great, but I don't want to create a whole new column for my data. Fair enough. If you want to edit your cells directly, that's where the old school classic find and replace comes into play. The process is probably familiar to you. Just select your cells, pop open the find and replace box, and tell it what to find and what to replace it with. But here's the key difference. This is a direct, permanent change. There's no formula, no new column. It edits your data right there in place. It's absolutely perfect for those quick, one-and-done cleanup jobs. All right, it's time to bring out the big guns. For our final method, we're talking about Power Query. This is the industrial strength solution. It's what you use when you want to build automated data cleaning workflows, especially for data you're pulling in from other systems. Now hang on, because this is a really important detail you have to know. Power Query has a trim command, but it is not the same as the trim function we just talked about. Power Query's trim only gets rid of leading and trailing spaces, the ones at the beginning and end. It will not touch any extra spaces between your words. Why? Because it's specifically designed to clean up messy data coming out of other computer systems. The absolute beauty of Power Query is that you're creating a repeatable recipe. You set up these cleaning steps just once. You load the data, you click trim, you load it back out. Then next week, when you get a new file with the same messy data, you just hit refresh, and Power Query does all that cleaning for you automatically. It's a total game changer for repetitive tasks.
So we've just covered 4 fantastic ways to deal with spaces. We've got a simple function, a flexible function, a direct editing tool, and an automation powerhouse. So which one should you actually use? How do you choose?
Well, let's break it down with this little cheat sheet. For your everyday general cleanup of all types of extra spaces, Trim is your best friend. It's fast and easy. If you need to target something specific, like only double spaces, you're going to want Substitute. For a quick and permanent fix right in your cells, go with Find and Replace. And if you're building an automated, repeatable process for importing data, Power Query is absolutely the way to go.
And there you have it. By mastering these simple but incredibly powerful techniques, you've gone from being a victim of messy data to being in total control of your spreadsheet. This is a fundamental skill that's going to save you hours of headaches down the road. Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.